important is diversity in VC, and what do you think we can do better on that front?
I think it's an important issue in terms of, how our decisions getting made, what's getting funded. Something that we're actively working on is increasing the pipeline of women at the associate level. We've launched a fellowship program that's an internship program specifically targeted for women and underrepresented minorities to help get more women get a foot in the door and help place them into full-time roles in our ecosystem. But equally important, I think it's just important that we think really proactively about how we're promoting women within firms, within funds, from associate to principal to partner level, ensuring that there's equitable compensation within our companies, something that we share with the people who are recruiting and headhunters, that you want to see a diverse pipeline of candidates that you're interviewing. If you're not interviewing those candidates, then you're not going to see them, you're not going to hire them ultimately within the company.
Were there any challenges you faced that you could share with us, be it from a gender inequality or diversity point of view? Could you share a few events or experiences that have shaped you into the person that you are today?
The challenges is you're the only woman in the room. So sometimes you might be the only female board member, you might be the only person in that level. But I think what has really helped is I think this community has really come together. There is a lot of support around just different activities for women to share deal flow or thoughts around fundraising. There's a lot more visibility, I think, for this topic in these last few years, following the Me Too movement. But I think it's not just about women, it's also just, it's diversity across the board and making sure there is a diverse cross-section of opinions and thoughts. And so we're getting really the best of what everybody has to offer.
What are some learnings you've taken away from working in VC as well as serving on the board of companies?
I think that EQ and IQ are both important around how you're influencing decisions that are being made around the table, how you're articulating your position. I think it's really important to be candid and direct and honest, but also kind of be respectful of the work that the entrepreneurs are putting in, that other people have put in around the table. And it's not just about showing up, I would say, at the board meeting. A lot of the work happens in between board meetings, one-on-one conversations that you're having with the CEO, work that you're doing behind the scenes, whether it's from a BD perspective or supporting your companies through, relationships in the ecosystem, whether it's with acquirers or manufacturing or supply. Board members I've seen that are really helpful are, kind of just always thinking about the needs of the company. So, offering strategic advice, being able to step back and, being able to challenge the assumptions that the company may be facing, but also just drawing on your experience through the number of different companies that you have exposure to as a venture capitalist is really helpful.
What skill sets do you think are the most important to learn and develop to prepare for a career in VC?
Having a really strong, I think, expertise and baseline, foundational knowledge about an area or kind of the willingness to learn in that space.
There's something you would tell your younger self or wished someone had told you in your early stages of your career?
Especially for a lot of young women out there, I think, it's very trite, but believing in yourself and your capabilities, trying to control your own narrative in your mind. And so you feel confident in what you're doing and know that, if you have a question, everybody has that question and, you should be articulating that. I think, just taking the time to explore what you're interested in, knowing that there's not just one career path for you. Additionally, I think it's just helpful to think about not just what you're passionate about, but what are you uniquely good at, and where do you get energy from versus what do you think is draining for you on a day-to-day basis, because you want to try to design a career and find a role, find a job that optimizes on where you're getting a lot of energy, where you're able to give that to your teams and to your career.
Thank you, Laurie, for the great conversation, and it was truly inspiring. And we certainly hope to see more female in venture capital.
Thank you.